Hello everybody. This 2008 Toyota RAV4 came into the shop for an oil change and tire rotation, just routine stuff. And we found out right away that the water pump was leaking. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through what you need to do in order to replace the water pump on this vehicle. I'm not gonna show you every nut and bolt because this is an advanced job and you should be an advanced mechanic. But I'm just going to give you the high-level layout of the things that you must do in order to get this job done. I do want to mention in passing that leaking water pump is a very common issue on the 2GR engine, unfortunately. This is the new water pump, and it has a little bit unusual shape. The good news is it is outside of the timing cover, not inside the timing cover. Now we're looking down the timing cover so you can see where the water pump is situated right here. And here's the water pump pulley. I've already loosened it. I've partially removed this water pump already. The things that I have removed already are the idler pulley down here, the pulley for the tensioner down here. This one has a reverse thread. I have removed, although it was not necessary, the crankshaft pulley. And in order to loosen the bolts of the water pump, some of which are behind this pulley, now there's no way to take this pulley off, okay? But I've removed it from the water pump so I can move it around and reach around it to access the bolts that need removal. To remove the water pump pulley, you're going to want to use one of these. It's a rubber belt wrench. Tighten it around the pulley, hold it in place when you loosen the bolts that hold the pulley in place. This is a quick view from underneath so you can get an idea what we've done. We got the sway bar link out of the way. Then we got the crankshaft pulley out of the way, and this is the access to all the different bolts from under here. And yeah, right now the water pump pulley is just hanging there, and we can move it back and forth to access the bolts underneath. Now I'm going to show you all of the other things that were removed in this process. I've got most of the things laid out on this table. These are brackets that sit on top of the valley between the two banks. This is the crankshaft pulley. It may not have been necessary to remove it, but it just makes it easier to have it out of the way. These two pulleys, this is the pulley for the tensioner. It has the reverse thread. This is the idler pulley. Okay, now here I have the whatchamacallit, it's like the saddle for the motor mount. The motor mount sits on top of this saddle. Here is the motor mount for the RAV4. It is different from your Toyota Highlanders and Camrys. Okay, it actually supports the weight of the engine. This is the motor mount bracket that mounts to the side of the engine, and this baby here is our water neck. This water neck with the thermostat housing right here. Okay, it has two O-ring mounts. This pushes in through an O-ring, and on this side it is pushed up against the O-ring of the water pump. Okay, so if you disconnect the hoses and you undo these bolts, you have to pry a little bit with a little bit of conviction, and this water neck or water outlet fixture will come right off. This is looking at the water outlet again. The thermostat is in here, as you can see, inside its housing. This opening right here is the opening that goes against this water tube with the O-ring, and I suggest that you replace this O-ring with a new one. The water neck or water outlet sits on top of the water pump like so. Okay, there's a stud right here, stud, and then there are two long through bolts. Okay, two long through bolts that go through the water outlet and through the water pump. One on top and one on bottom. Now I want to show you what I do with the bolts from the water pump, because these are different lengths and sizes. As I take them out, I push them into this piece of cardboard so I know where everything goes back. And some of these are sealed with a Permatex like stuff, like a sealant. Okay, now the book, and I will include a screenshot of the book, suggests Loctite equivalent, 3 bond 1344, which is like blue Loctite, for two of these bolts, and I will show you which ones in the call out that I will include here. So as noted in the shop manual, we will be using blue Loctite or its equivalent on these two bolts right here. Okay, these two right here. We need blue Loctite. This is the Permatex equivalent of blue Loctite. Now, the other thing is that some of these bolts have a gray RTV on them, so we will be using gray RTV for those bolts. This is my Aisin box that the water pump came in, and here is the part number, WPT803. Here is the old pulley, the old water pump side by side with the new one on the shop floor. This is where the new O-ring must go. Don't forget to put it in. And to put this water pump back in, you just install this kind of loosely on top, and then we slide it down between the engine and the frame rail. This is the kit for the gasket and the O-rings. They all came with the water pump kit. This shows the installation of the water outlet or inlet, the thermostat housing, 2 bolts and 1 nut, and they are also torqued to 7 foot-pounds, or about 81, 84 inch-pounds. After you install the water inlet thermostat housing, you can install the engine mount bracket, and its bolts are torqued to 40 foot-pounds. If anyone claims to you that they are a mechanic, ask to see their torque wrenches. And if they have no torque wrench or fewer than 2 torque wrenches, then go take your car someplace else. So this was a brief video just to give you a high-level overview. Things to recall are that this pulley, the water pump pulley, there's no way to actually remove it out of here without removing the water pump with it. But if you unfasten it, then you can access all of the bolts from all around it. So thanks for watching. Hope that this helps you, and if you have any questions, just put them in the comments below.